there, welcome to the channel or welcome back. My name is Angela. If you're new to the channel, thank you so much for joining us. If you've been hanging out with me for a while, thank you so much for sticking around. I don't know about you guys, but in my part of the world, we're getting a ton of rain and storms. I thought today we could have some fun with raincoat patterns. If you're ready, let's jump in. I have 10 patterns to share with you. They're a mix of big four, mostly indie patterns though. And the first one on the list is the Seamwork L jacket. I'm going to slide out of the way here and start popping pictures up here so you guys can see what I'm talking about when I'm going over these raincoats. And if I'm looking down, I'm just checking out my notes on the computer here, but you can focus right up on the pictures here. Let's go. And as mentioned, this first pattern is by Seamwork. It's the L jacket. It's a hooded jacket, and it's fully lined, hooded with a stylish A-line fit. The hem sits a few inches above the knee, and there are a few details that make this jacket so classic. It has a three-piece hood, a shoulder yoke, and patch pockets with an angled flap. I'll pop some close-ups in here of these details as we go. You can sew it up in medium weight or heavyweight fabrics like jacketings, canvas, denim, and twill. It doesn't have a bunch of extra seams. It's a great project to sew in a water-resistant fabric for a fun raincoat. And there we have it. Let's look at the fabrics called for and see if it gives any more specifics besides the few that it listed. Main fabric: heavyweight woven fabrics such as canvas, denim, and twill. Coatings: wax canvas, supplex, cordura nylon, or vinyl. And the lining fabric: light to medium weight woven lining fabric such as cotton sateen, cotton flannel, silk habite, rayon Bemberg, acetate, or polyester. Looks pretty good. I'm going to show some other pictures of the different views. Here's a side view. It looks pretty cozy to me. And here's a little cuff detail picture. Pretty snazzy. I like it. We've got 9 more coats to go. Let's keep moving. Number 2 is by the Green Pepper. It's called Silver Falls Raincoat Pattern. And check out the picture here. This kind of reminds me of a raincoat / trench coat, at least from the illustration here. And it does have a detachable hood. Let's read what some of the details are. And they do say it's a trench type, fully lined raincoat. Full length provides great protection from the elements. 2 hand warmer pockets and 2 zipper pockets on the outside, plus 2 top opening and 2 zipper pockets on the inside. How nice is this? Front buttons or snaps close the raincoat, and an optional tie finishes the look. Make it with a round collar or a squared collar. It includes a detachable hood, which can also be stored in an inside pocket. I think they've thought of everything, and this is so versatile. And I don't think that they have any example pictures of anyone wearing this coat. I've never made the Green Pepper, any of their patterns, but I do love looking at them. They're so like rugged, like utilitarian, like you make these things when you want to go wading in the creek and duck hunting or something like that. I'm not a hunter, I don't hunt ducks, but their patterns are just kind of for the outdoorsy amongst us. And moving along, number 3 is a simplicity pattern. It's S9052. I'll pop that up here. And this is a Mimi G style pattern. It's men's and women's. And because it is a big 4, the description's going to be pretty brief. So we'll try to figure out what we can from the illustrations. It does say it's an unlined combat or parka jacket. Has front separating zipper and button placket, elasticated waist, 4 front pockets, 2 length and hem style options, and it also does include a detachable hood. Let's look at the line drawings because I think that's going to tell the tale here. So there we go with that. It reminds me a little bit of the Green Pepper one we just looked at, like rugged, ready for an adventure. And number 4 is an itch to stitch pattern. It's called Winterth. This reminds me of the classic raincoat that we all know and love. And the description says it's a contemporary utility jacket. It's relaxed and a perfect addition to your everyday outfit. Buttons and hardware add a polished look to this casual jacket. Choose to make it in a simple cotton twill or a water-resistant polyester. Some of the features: options for cup sizes, that's always nice. Options for collar and a 3-piece hood. If you guys have been hanging out with me for a while, you know I love my 3-piece hoods for sure. It is fully lined. Oh, front princess seams to shoulders. Okay, so I think that's a new feature out of the ones we've seen. Has a back yoke, a cinched waist by drawstring on the inside, front patch and optional chest pockets, front zipper with buttoned flap, 2-piece long sleeve, so there's a nice touch, with adjustable buttoned sleeve hem, designed for non-stretch woven fabrics. And let's take a look at some close-ups on this one. So here's a nice picture of the cuff. That's stylish. I like that. Here's a picture of the inside. I like the quilted lining, and you can see the inside drawstring there. So that's a great feature. And here is a picture from the side. And let's take a look at the back view on this. So there's that nice 3-piece hood and a good view of the back with the cinched waist there. Yeah, let's keep it rolling. We got a lot more to cover. Number 5 is the Truffle Coats by Laura Sanner. I've never heard of Laura Sanner. I found her when I was looking for raincoat patterns. So let's take a look. And actually, I'm going to show you some pictures from her website, which is called thesewingrecipe.com. But what turned up was her listing on Etsy. So I think she must sell her patterns through Etsy. I'll try to put links to all these coats below. To my knowledge, they are still all available for purchase. But let's get back to this truffle coat. This reminds me of another classic raincoat. It's definitely an A-line style here. I like these angled flap pockets. It's interesting that it doesn't have a waistline or any kind of a cinching there that I could tell right now. And here's a side view. It reminds me of like a coat that Paddington Bear would wear, or something like a nostalgic raincoat. I just love it. Let's see if we can get a description on this. It looks like it is lined, and it also does come in a kid's version, so that's nice too. It looks like it has front patch pockets with the flaps, and I'm not really seeing any written description here, so I think we're going to have to just do the best we can with the pictures. And here's the line drawings, which often, like I mentioned, they tell kind of the full story and really give us an idea of what's going on here. It looks like you can do a collar or a hood, both maybe. So kind of bare minimum information on that, but I think the pictures and the diagrams do a pretty good job of letting us know the features that this one offers. And with that, we're halfway through. 5 more to go. Number 6 is the Nova Pattern Raincoat. I also found this one on Etsy. Let me pop a picture up here. And interestingly, at the time I'm recording this, which is Wednesday, April 2nd, the pattern is on sale down from $12 to $3. So I'm hoping that'll still be the case when this video goes up on Friday. But it may be a sale that they offer. It looks like it's saying the sale ends in 1 hour, 43 minutes. Yeah, I think they have one of those countdown clocks going on. So this one looks pretty cool. It seems a little bit longer length than the ones we've seen. I like that they've made it out of this clear plastic material. Plastic, it's probably nylon or something like that. Let's see if we can find a description on this one. It just says raincoat sewing pattern, hooded coat, front zipper jacket. And let's take a look at some of the pictures and see if we can glean any more from this. So it is a little bare bones, and they don't really give too much description on this. It's a PDF pattern, of course. And it might be worth noting that Nova Pattern is based in Europe. They've done 32,000 plus sales, and they have 4.5 stars. So that's pretty good. You can take a look at their offerings if you click the link. Number 7 is a simplicity pattern. It's S9713. So this one is not billed as or described as a raincoat. It says hooded parka in 2 lengths, features side seam pockets, snaps or button closure, and concealed zipper. View A has faux pocket flaps. So I think that if you chose the right fabric, you possibly could wear it as a raincoat. Let's see what the suggested fabrics are for this one. So I'm going to have to get in close because of the old eyes. Broadcloth, cotton blends, linen blends, moleskin, ripstop nylon, so there we go there, and lining fabric. And from what I can tell, it looks like it is fully lined and of course hooded with, a few options there. Let's look at the line drawings. So this one does have a little bit of a high-low thing going on there at the hem, which of course you could modify that. I'm not personally big on the high-low look in most cases, but I know that a lot of people do prefer that or they enjoy that. So you could keep it that way or, straighten it out across the bottom. It does look like it's a little bit roomy, like there's a lot of space inside this coat. There's a lot of fabric going on here. And are those raglan sleeves I'm seeing there? So you may or may not prefer those. Just another option in our raincoat lineup. Let's move on. Number 8 is the Nicole Whitney jacket. This is another new to me pattern company, but I'm liking what I'm seeing. Let's take a look at her website. This is a really cute jacket here. It reminds me of that previous one just a little bit because it looks like it's maybe a little swingy, got some room to move in there. And of course, we've got the raglan sleeves. And she does describe it as a swingy raincoat with raglan sleeves. So there you have it. Inseam pockets and a roomy hood. Fully lined and features side front seams as well as a center back box pleat for extra movement and color blocking opportunities. I love the addition of a box pleat, not just for the extra movement, but because it's very stylish. Let's look at some pictures on this one. So here's a side view. It does look pretty comfy. And here's the inside. I like the fun fabric and the yellow lining on this version. How cute is that? And here's sort of a picture of the back side view. So yeah, cute. I think that's cute. Very stylish. Number 9, we have the, I'm going to try to pronounce this. I might misspell it. I'm going to put it up here so you guys know what I'm trying to say here. It's Iky or Iky Quimper. This one is described as a women's windbreaker, raincoat, or parka, loose fit, 3 lengths, short to the bum area, mid-thigh length, or long below the knee. It's nice to have those options. Lined hood or ribbed collar, welt pockets, central zipper closure, optional side zippers for mid-length and long versions, optional body and sleeve lining. Lots of variations here. You can choose your own adventure on this one. Optional waist casing with drawstring. Love that. Optional elasticated bottom for the short version. A comfortable, practical piece for multiple uses. So let's see if we can find, first let's look at the line drawings. That'll let us know what we're getting into here. And here you can see all the variations on length, the drawstring option or not, some of the hood options. Now let's see if we can find some pictures. Okay, so here's a hood up. Back view showing the hood down, and you can see the casing for that drawstring. Here's the short version. That looks so cute. And I think that's pretty much it. And finally, the last option I have to share with you guys, it's another simplicity. And I think it's kind of interesting that out of these 10 options I'm showing, that out of the 3 or 4 that were big 4 patterns, they were all simplicity. That's all I could find. I'm sure that the other companies or brands have options. These are just the ones that were turning up for me. I'd love to know, before I show you this one, if you guys have a favorite raincoat pattern. drop it in the comments below because I would love to know what it is. I am a sucker for coat and jacket patterns, even though I've only made a few in my lifetime. I just love a good coat pattern. Let's look at this simplicity. It's S8843. And again, this one's not billed as a raincoat. It's called a utility jacket. It's an anorak featuring an optional hood with zip front closure and pocket variations. You can express your individuality by making this jacket sporty or using organza, or go for a casual look with twills and cottons. And I made this jacket. Out of these 10 patterns, this is the only one that I've made. I tell you that I love this jacket. I wear it all the time. I made it probably maybe 3 years ago. It was a collaboration that I did with Made by Pam. I'll link her channel below. And I love this jacket so much. It was a fun collab, and the jacket's great. The one I made is made out of a thin twill. I would call it slightly water repellent. It's not waterproof, and I would not call it a raincoat at all. But if you made it out of the right fabric, this could be a raincoat. Let's look at the line drawings and see the features. So you can do a hood or not. It has a zipper, and you can also do the front placket with the buttons or snaps. It has front patch pockets with or without a flap. It has a waist drawstring. And this does have the 3-piece hood that I love. This is where the first time I ever sewed a 3-piece hood was this jacket, and that's probably how I'll always do hoods forevermore. I loved it so much. One thing to note about this jacket, if you do the version that doesn't have the elasticated sleeves, they're real open and roomy. They flap around a lot. I did go back in and add some elastic to my sleeve hems there. So just a word to the wise. So there you have it. These are just the ones that I have found. I'm sure there's many other raincoat patterns out there. Drop a comment if, like I mentioned, if you have a favorite one or if you know some other good ones. But hopefully this gave you maybe a good starting point if you're thinking about sewing yourself a raincoat this year. I hope that you're not underwater with all the rain like we have been and are continuing to be. Hope you're staying safe. And that wraps it up for this time. Thank you so much for hanging out with me in my sewing room. And I hope you'll come back next time when I'm still debating on the topic, but I may do a fun spring dress roundup. We'll see. Until then, just keep sewing.